hip hop soul in the crowd. Yeah.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. It's Rob and Stu Show. It is college football picks here, week 2. Big week this week. NFL picks show. Me and Roberto starting that off. Check for that on Friday only on the Pulse Sports Network. Subscribe. Check it out on the YouTubes. Give it a like, give it a subscription, and
give
tell
us
your
a
friends.
whirl. Give us a whirl. Yeah.
Give it a whirl. Big show today. It's going to be an electric factory. If you're watching on YouTube, you already know who's here. You already know who's in the building. We're saving him for last. Just be ready. Be prepared. And don't have children in the room. So, that said, let's kick it off. Let's go to my co-host, a man who he hung out with the Pickled Knights all weekend. Roberto, how are you? Coming off a nice little week here. You start off the season nice, 3-2, 1-0 on his dog, 1-0 on his locks.
Listen, Florida State, I gave it to you. I give it to you. You know, I have all the winners the first week. This week I'll be down 3 or 4 boxes of ZD. What a weekend. The Scarlet Knights. I've already booked a room for the national championship game. I already know we'll be there. I mean, Gavin Winsett. What more can you say? Some are saying the best quarterback in the Big Ten. I'm up there with it. Maybe got to add 1 or 2 more receivers. But listen, a dominant win over let's be honest. Northwestern's a powerhouse. I mean, Northwestern, when you think the Big Ten, you think Northwestern.
That's true. Has the Belk Bowl or the Armed Forces Bowl been put on notice officially?
Listen, I am spending Christmas in Detroit with the Studer family, the Detroit Motor City Bowl. We're there, baby. We're there. I mean, we're locked and loaded.
Sharpie.
Yeah, we're locked. I'm going to be in a casino smoking cigarettes with Detroit's best of the best, eating hot dogs, what they do on every big holiday. They cook hot dogs and they sit around. They talk about Ford. I don't know what the hell they talk about Detroit, but listen. Now let's get to the picks this week. I'll start babbling. Nebraska money line is my first play of the weekend. I was having this conversation with Steele. I've had this conversation with everybody. I can't get off this line. I wanted to bet this line when I was at the sports book Saturday in Atlantic City at the Borgata. As soon as the Colorado game went official, I'm not taking anything away from Colorado. I thought their offense looked fantastic. Their defense stinks. I think a Big Ten defense, Matt Rule, a great defensive coordinator. I mean, go back to his defenses at Baylor. I always thought they were top-notch. The job he did at Temple, I think he's going to have Nebraska ready to play. Now, obviously, listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Colorado's offense. They're great. But I think Nebraska is the play. This line was, correct me if I'm wrong, it was Nebraska minus 8 or 9 in the beginning of the season. Then after last week, it's went to Colorado.
It was double digits. It was double digits.
The line has basically moved 14 points. Okay. I mean, they're doing an insane amount of tickets in Las Vegas on this game. I'm all in on Nebraska. Love them Saturday.
That is your dog of the week.
Yeah. That's fine. Yep. Dog of the week. UCLA. If they don't start Moore, I give up on this team. I watched that game versus Coastal Carolina. Moore's got the juice. Listen, the poor kid finally got out of Detroit. Can you blame him? He wanted nothing to do with Michigan State. I mean, just,
a wildly interesting story. His dad actually has a Michigan tattoo.
That's a shame. You hate to see it.
So it's a logical thing for him to go to UCLA. But, I mean, he's not a war criminal, so that's a positive.
Well, that's a positive. I like them a lot Saturday. If he starts, he's got to start. Chip is doing this shit where he likes to bring him in halfway, just start the kid. I don't know. Chip's got his ways. You know
UCLA minus 14.5.
Yeah, I'm going to lay the 14.5. I'm going to lay the 14.5. I got 2 more plays for you. The last one, please don't laugh. Okay, please. But the one before that one, I love the Miami Hurricanes. And I don't even love the Hurricanes on a matchup thing. This is a number to me. They're getting 4.5 points. That's right, Bobcat. The U, baby. The U. This is more of a numbers play for me. Only 4.5. This is a pumped up, this is a Texas A&M team that's supposed to be I don't know. Petrino's offense. Stu loves Petrino. Listen, Petrino doesn't want to come to Piscataway. That's all I can tell you. Nightmares. Nightmares. We don't have to go back into that anymore. But listen.
Him riding
I
a
think-
Harley Davidson is nightmares. Okay.
Allegedly with an assistant. Allegedly. I don't know. I don't know if there was a female involved. Could have been a male. It's 2020.
I heard it was your mother.
Oh, you son of a bitch. How dare you? How dare you?
How's your mother's
Wow,
leg doing after that
Bobcat
accident?
taking off the gloves. How dare you?
How's she doing
Um,
after that accident?
Jesus Christ. Listen, I
No
love
wonder
my-
he doesn't want to come to Piscataway. Between your mother and Hillary Clinton, I wouldn't want to come. either.
Oh, Jesus. Stop your words. Listen, the Hurricanes, I like them. I'm taking them on the money line. I think it's a great play at home. I mean, 4.5 is probably a good number to take, but you know me, I'm going to roll with the money line. And my last play, please nobody laugh. And I'm not playing this just for any old reason because
Oh,
coming off
geez.
last week's games, Northwestern money line at home, getting a 1.5. They're not that bad. Their quarterback situation isn't that bad. He just had no time to throw. I thought their defense dropped 1 or 2 interceptions versus, come on, versus UTEP, really. They should win this game on Saturday.
Did you like just have seizures or did you get up and go get your hot dogs and your fucking
I'm all in,
Coco
babe.
Chicos?
I'm all in. I'm 1-0. I'm
Okay.
1-0. Rutgers is right.
What in the hell out of those 3 games is your lock?
Oh, the lock's going to be Nebraska.
It's your dog. You got to
Dog,
tell.
oh, okay, that's the dog of the week. Okay, my lock's going to be Miami. Lock it up.
Man, has Rob not done this before?
It's incredible.
He fucking they
I
go
do
out
have a
there.
draft. I'm doing a fantasy draft on the side of it.
Sure.
Yeah,
They go
that's
out
it.
there.
Yeah.
They go out there. They almost shut out Northwestern. He's the fucking big dick on the block.
This is the fucking guy in charge for all the natural gas on the East Coast. So
Call before you dig,
sleep
folks.
tight at
Call,
night, folks. Nothing
call
to worry
before you
about.
dig. Call before you fucking dig.
All right. Next up, we're going to head over to a young man from the state of Georgia. He is the CFO and COO of All Sports Network and host of Skyhawks Football Now. He is J.C. Shelton. How are you, sir?
Is it odd he's not in a car doing 100 miles an hour?
Yeah, that's
funny. That's funny. I am the CEO of Georgia football, as in the 2-time national champions. We haven't lost a day in 642 days now, something like that. So
Bobcats
I'm all
raging.
for that.
You can
I think
see
what we
the
do
thing.
is we just take
I
take
don't-
the speed limits off
Stand by,
of the
though.
roads
Let's-
in
hey,
Athens, and we're fine. And
Let's stand by though. So you lost in December of fucking 2022 or 2021. Excuse me.
642 days, I believe. John,
Was that
the,
sick?
is
Is that
the
how-
number?
All right,
how
so
many days?
let's use
Our
our big
last
boy
loss.
brain. Let's
That's
use
our
our
last
big boy
loss.
brain.
We're back to back national champions, John. I don't know what
No,
you're
no,
going
no,
to say,
let's-
but all I can do is just hold those 2 up.
So
If I had them. I should get
600
so many replicas.
So 642.
How many games has Alabama lost in those days? 642 days.
I can't even count to 600.
I'm just trying to do math here. So December of 2021, that was 365 days ago from December of 2022.
It's 640 something days, John.
Yeah, so
It is.
365 days from last December. We are now in September. Is there an additional 300? Am I missing something?
You are.
Did I-
You are. Just look it up, John. I'm not going to.
What did I miss? What did I
You
miss?
missed that. You missed that Georgia hasn't lost the game in 600. Well, you
I
didn't miss
think-
it. You're just putting it out of your brain.
I think what
that's okay, though.
I'm trying to say is like your math is wrong.
It's
That
not.
Georgia
I didn't do the math.
hillbilly
I read that.
math
You think
is
I'm going to look that up? You think I'm going to look that up? No, I read that. Dude. That's a tweet. That is a tweet. It's not that serious. Just to give you an idea. Just to give you an idea.
642 days.
Bobcat,
man.
Of
let's
back-to-back
let
national
Paul Walker
championships.
get his picks in.
Yes, let Paul
And-
Walker do his thing.
And-
Fast and
and
Furious 11 coming
and-
soon. Athens, Clark County PD.
on
Let's hit
that
it.
note, Dominic Toretto over here with a tough week last week. Real tough.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not. Yeah, I was,
2 and
I mean,
5.
I made more on baseball than I did football, and it's
2 and
it's
5
horrible.
week. bringing his total 5-8 on the year, 1-1 on the dogs. 0 for 2 on the locks.
Felt like me last year.
Yeah, but you did it over a long period of time. Chris. I'm trying to get back.
No,
I mean,
trying
that
to
was
get back here.
sustained. That was
I did.
sustained brilliance. We're
Yeah.
gonna see if young Henry Ruggs can get out of it here. What are your thoughts?
I think last year about this time I had the same kind of presence building in the loss department, and I need to see some more football. I think that's what I'm going to blame on it. That's how I'm going to make myself feel better. The locks are just I say it's a lock, but then I have no confidence in these as locks. So we'll see what happens. That's usually one of my best weeks when I just don't like anything. All right, let's do. Stu, I don't have a dog this week. I don't. I'm sorry. Mississippi State versus Virginia. Lock here. Bulldogs underrated. Will Rogers is the best pure passer in the SEC. Cowbells just suck to play with. Give me Mississippi State cover. I have them at 9 here. At home versus Virginia. Virginia got boat raced by Tennessee last
Alan,
week.
did you hear
Uh,
what El Jefe just said? That Will Rogers, the Mississippi State, Will Rogers, best passing quarterback in the
Best
SEC.
pure passer in the SEC.
What have I been telling you all fucking off season, Stu?
are you confusing Virginia and Arizona?
No.
Oh, is it Arizona?
It's Arizona.
It's Arizona.
Oh, I just wrote it wrong. I just wrote it wrong. I don't care.
Jeez.
I just wrote it wrong on here. I know what I'm
Mississippi
doing.
State, them dogs coming out. Them dogs coming out.
Mississippi State.
I
There
told
we
you,
go.
Stu. I've been telling Stu, JC, for the last 6 goddamn fucking weeks that Mississippi State should not be slept on. They should not be
Yeah,
slept
I mean,
on.
I totally agree. I love Arnett. He's a player's coach. They love playing for him.
Dogs.
He's a good, that defense, that front seven is just pretty good. Excited to see him.
Mississippi State.
But yeah, let's
Dogs.
take him. I just wrote that wrong on the notes here. Still
there's the
taking him out
puppy
of at
right
9.
Yeah, Virginia,
yeah.
Arizona, same colors. I could easily get.
Basically, they both,
Yeah.
they're both trash.
Yeah.
Utah at Baylor. I'm riding the Utes here. I'm riding them. I think they're pretty complete team. Now, quarterback situation, is Buddy going to be healthy for this week? I did it with 2 quarterbacks against Florida. Maybe that speaks more about how trash Florida is. We'll see. But at Baylor here, I got them at 8.5. They win by 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma, that's a lock, dude. Those are both locks. Mississippi State and Utah. Okay. Oklahoma versus SMU. Sooners, they scored 1 billion last week, but it was trash opponent. Sooners are I think they're going to score a bunch of points here. I got 15 points versus SMU. I like them there. They're at home too, which is nice. Notre Dame at NC State. I'm an Irish believer right now. I know they did it against trash too, but got to do it against better competition. I think NC State is that. I like their offense. I think their defense has some dudes on it, especially in the front 7. They're playing well. Get the run established in this game, and I think they rack it up here. But I have it at 8 points. I think it's like a 10 to 14 point game.
7.5.
Yeah, cool. Even better. And then Auburn at Cal. War Tiger Eagles. Right? SEC. I think
No, that's correct. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
6.5 points here. I like them by a touchdown at least. Hugh Freeze, come on. Oregon at Texas Tech. Raiders gave up over 300 yards to Wyoming. Oregon, I am a little bit worried about Bo Nix on the road here. That's always a issue for him, it seems like, but it's his 18th year in college football. You think he might get over that eventually? Maybe today's the day. I think they had a really good performance last week offensively. I know it's a warm-up opponent, but Texas Tech here. I like him 6.5. I got the line at. Waiting for Stu to be like, no.
No, that's correct.
Okay, but yeah, Oregon by touchdown here. And then Colorado, Rob, I am completely against you. They have dudes. How is Nebraska going to stop that off? Like, they just have dudes that can make plays. And Travis Hunter is incredible to watch. Like, absolutely incredible. I'll be tuning in to watch him all year. And Sanders had a great game as well. I think you put those two, they're going to score points, right? Even if their defense doesn't play up to snuff. I think Nebraska, offensively, Sims threw 3 picks last week to Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken.
It was not good. It was not good.
If Colorado just comes up with a few plays here and there on defense, I think they score enough points to win by a touchdown here. I have it 3, right? I think we already said that. I was totally wrong about Colorado's roster. I think the majority of the world was. That's all I read from all your favorite college football analysts all offseason. But I think they just have the dudes, and Dion has these guys playing on a whole different level as far as motivation is concerned. I think so. I like the Buffs here versus Nebraska. Now, them's the picks.
All right, beautiful stuff. Now let's head over to Mr. Tuesday Night. He is the whole effing show, the incomparable, the man, the myth, the legend, CVD, Chris Van Dine, NCSports.com, NCSports.com. CVD coming in 4-5, 1-1 on his dogs, 1-1 on his locks. CVD, help the people out. Give them some winners.
Yeah, man, I hate to. I hope JC's having a turnaround week because I'm also on Mississippi State. I just think that there's a huge defensive edge for the Bulldogs here.
Is this a lock for you, or
This is going to be a lock. Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. Like I said, huge defensive edge. I think that limited tape you have on playing Mississippi State because this is a different offense than what you're used to seeing. No more air raid. Will Rogers did look pretty good in his first game in this offense, completing 69% of his passes. I like the running game. They weren't known for their running backs, but they do have a good one in Joquavius Marks. I think that 3 touchdowns is cheap at home against a bad Pac-12 team. I know that, Arizona does have some explosive players on offense, but I think they're running into a really stiff defense. So I don't think the Bulldogs will have any problems taking care of that. Syracuse, -21. I'd get this now before it goes over 3 touchdowns. Dino Babers, one thing he does well is coaches teams to win big in spots where they should. He is 7-2 against the spread when they're favored by 20+. They've got some lopsided wins against directional Michigan teams in the last few years.
how dare you?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. But, first-year head coach Lance Taylor, I know that, that they're coming off a win over St. Francis. They looked okay in that game. They put up over 500 yards, but that's a below-average FCS team. I don't think that Syracuse is going to have any trouble here at home. And, hey, Syracuse has a healthy quarterback right now. Take Syracuse when their quarterback's actually healthy because Garrett Schrader will get hurt eventually this year. Syracuse quarterbacks always get hurt. For my dog, I am going to go with, and I had it written down and now I lost it. I'll tell you what, before I get to my dog, I'm going to give out Coastal Carolina versus Jacksonville State under 57. For me, Coastal's offense is going to look way different with Tim Beck calling plays. Jamie Chadwell is a great play caller. I have extreme reservations about Tim Beck. I liked the Coastal under last week against UCLA, and that went way under. It was only 27-14. So I think this will be a similar low-scoring game. Jacksonville State's defense played pretty well in the opener. Last week they looked good against a bad ETSU team. Zion Webb can't throw the ball really. He's more of a one-dimensional runner. He didn't play much last week, but that was because he was sick. Also, give me the USC over. I think it was 71.
Yeah, that's what I had it at.
Yeah, I just think you keep playing USC overs until they stop hitting. It just, they just seem like a team that's just going to keep burning those totals. Also, before I get to my dog, give me Vandy getting the points. I like the Commodores here. I think they will keep this a little closer than expected. They had a big lead on Hawaii in the first game. People were down on them because they didn't win that game big, but it was mostly a fourth quarter comeback that got them back into that game. And then
that line has shifted, by the way. That opened 13.5 and has gone down to 10.5. So,
okay, that's probably, I think there's good reason for that. I really think that This is going to be a closer game than expected. Actually, you know what? Make Vandy my dog, because I had written down who my dog was, but now I don't see it. And then also one FBS versus FCS play. Give me Idaho. And there's no line right now, but whatever the line is against Nevada, I think Idaho could win that game outright. I think, the FBS was 42-0 against the FCS last week. And as I went through every game, FCS versus FBS this week, there's two that I think scream for a possible upset. Southern Illinois.
I've got the other one.
Southern Illinois, Northern Illinois is one for me.
That's not the one I was talking.
And Idaho, I think could very well win this
Are
game.
they playing in the Kibbe Dome?
No, they're on the road, but this is a top 5, top 10 FCS team. They went deep in the playoffs last year. Giovanni McCoy, really good quarterback for the Vandals. I think
we're riding with the Vandals.
I'm riding with the Vandals, absolutely.
Any line, you said any fucking line, ride with the Vandals.
Whatever the line comes out at.
Take the Idaho money line. Is that what you're saying?
I would not be opposed to that. I would not be opposed to that at all, because I think they
ride. Absolutely.
Let's fucking ride then. When that line comes out, I'll fucking ride for $5.
When we start giving FCS plays, you fucking ride.
Or die.
When I tell you it's Easter, you paint fucking eggs.
Yeah, there we go.
God damn it, Rob.
All right,
You fucking banana brain, fucking pastrami fucking breath.
Right.
Weirdo.
That's all I got.
Chris, no quick comment on for the ladies before you leave, or
No, I'll save that for if you listen to the Power Sweep podcast.
okay.
Wow.
Folks, you just
Drive
need to
it.
listen.
Drive that traffic, Chris.
You need to listen to that Power Sweep podcast, and you need to listen to the end. It is phenomenal. Also,
that is going to be my new goal every week, is to say something that upsets Jim.
I love it.
Yeah, Jim.
It doesn't take much. It just has to be some off-color comment, something slightly inappropriate.
If you listened last week, it sounds like a principle.
Quick comment at the end, and Jim just has he's
and it was cut perfect.
It was
cut perfect.
Hey, and not intentionally at all. I didn't plan on doing that. I just said it. Jim reacted the way he always reacts when I say something inappropriate.
It was cut perfectly. You can't.
I hit that end recording button. I was like,
you're gonna have to let it roll. You're gonna have to let it roll from now on for a couple extra seconds. Make sure.
But we do have, just throwing this out there, we do have Stone Labanowitz, a former Southern Illinois starting quarterback, actually led an upset in the playoffs a few years ago for the Salukis. Comes on, he works for FCS Nation. We talked a little bit about the Salukis. We also talked about Montana State and South Dakota. Sorry, Montana State, South Dakota State this week. Awesome game. Can't wait to see that one. ESPN Plus, 7 o'clock. Best FCS game of the year.
Ask him to get me a Dallas Goddard, South Dakota Jackrabbits jersey.
CBD is such a fucking degenerate, though. Just listening to him talk about FCS plays, it's like you.
Oh, him and Stu can have.
Yeah.
This is Rich coming from the guy where I go, yeah, I think I'm going to take Mercer today. Oh, you fucking know North Alabama. You know how they do. They get people from
Go Lions.
Bumfuck Alabama.
Go Lions. Yeah, you goddamn right. Don't fucking talk. Southeastern FCS schools, don't fucking talk to me about them, because I'll fucking kill you.
North Alabama's playing well. They beat Chattanooga last week. That shocked me.
Okay, Lions over the Seminoles. Your thoughts?
It's a lot.
Good luck.
It's a lot.
All right. As leader in the clubhouse, I'll go up next. 9-5 on the year. Nice little 5-3 week. Just winning, keeping it turning. I love the card this week, boys. I love it. Add Mississippi
That means
State.
we should all fade this.
Add Mississippi State to my card. I love that play too. But I'm going to try and bet every single game this week. So that said, UTEP easy, lay the 1.5. And give me the under 38.5 for obvious reasons. Northwestern is horrific. Holy Cross. Even though shout out Joe Bags. I'm repping the BC Eagles tonight.
Tough break, Bags. Tough
I
break.
cannot wait to see what the Holy Cross line comes out at. I will be playing them for these purposes on the show, and I will be betting that line, taking the points. Again, well, who's to say they are given points? I think that's a fair question. God bless you, Joe. You certainly need it. Notre Dame -7.5. Fighting Irish are for real. Ole Miss and Tulane, two of my favorite teams. Ole Miss and the Green Wave. Shout out Sean King. Over 63.5. I'm going to go back to Piscataway. I'm going back there. Temple Rutgers. The total's 44.5. Gavin Wimsatt is dollar store clearance section white bread. Okay. He is I've never seen anybody get so much praise for completing 4-yard passes. I've never seen it. You would think Mike McMahon is out there slinging it 50 yards downfield.
Ooh, what a hater.
Hey, Stu, real quick. Let me just address something. The 4-yard passes, Tom Brady is the GOAT.
That's
and
right.
He completes 5-yard fucking slants.
You're talking to a guy who watches the Detroit Lions and Michigan State. The man hasn't seen quarterback play. Please.
Yeah.
Matthew
Hey, Kirk
Stafford.
Cousins.
Matthew
Kirk
Stafford
Cousins,
even.
come on.
Yeah,
That's right.
thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Matthew
Connor
Stafford
Cook,
had the lead.
Do you remember a little gentleman by the name of Tony Banks?
Is it me?
Bitch
Is
ass.
it me? Or is there a little nervousness out of East Lansing? Is there me? Is
Yeah.
little
There's none.
undertones, little nervousness
none.
in that voice?
We are ready to roll.
Listen,
Okay.
Hey, let me tell you
a
something.
real man would watch the game in person when they come up to Piscataway. Not hide behind the
you know,
fact
it's
that you have
called
a family.
oblos. It's called oblos. I'm sorry, I only have a house cat that I feed once every 2 weeks, and I can go gallivant along northern New Jersey and put a small mortgage up in AC every weekend. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
How dare you?
Hey, look.
My wife listens to this podcast.
Hey,
Don't
how
let her
about
know
this?
I'm a
You know what? You go home and you go get your shine box, Roberto. We're moving on to Colorado, laying 3. That's one horrible pick, Rob. I love Texas A&M as well. Connor Wegman's legit. My dog had this before. We talked Bobcat this weekend. Vandy, I bet it at 13.5. I'm going to play it at 10.5 as well. I share the dog with CBD. And then my lock of the week. You know what Jackson Dart does? He throws darts. And Ole Miss is covering 6.5.
I got it at Allen. It's at 7.5 right now. Don't fucking be a pussy.
Okay,
It's
I
at 7.5.
put it at 6.5 when I wrote it last night.
It's at 7.5.
You know what?
half
Good
now.
call, Bobcat. Good call.
Nah.
Thank you. Thank
we're
you.
not gonna
Thank
take
you.
that
I wrote
shit.
it down last night. Hey, some
sneaks
of us have
numbers in.
obligations, Bobcat. You wouldn't know
Notre-
anything about
Notre-
that either.
Notre
Bobcat
Dame is
takes
also
advantage because I
7.5.
never graduated.
I have
out of
Notre
sixth
Dame
grade.
at 7.5.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah,
I'm making sure.
Mr. I'm on spot here. Okay.
I'm putting a pin on you, bitch.
Yeah, good. Luckily you're not a Navy SEAL.
I wrote
so
down.
know
I
you'll
wrote down.
miss.
It's
Here,
fugazi.
folks. I'll let you have. You got 10 minutes, Bobcat. You're gracing us with your fucking presence. It's so nice of
Here
you.
we go.
In my
From-
Rutgers shirt.
From
That's
the
right.
garbage
College
heap
football.
of Alabama, Fairhope, coming to you live for one of the 3 times this year he decides to come on. Generally, when Alabama's about to lose a big game, he is the Bobcat, John Castorani. Please at him. You too can get qualified.
You
Bobcat.
too can. Jesus Christ. Yeah. So just got to say, I had to put down my dog of 12 years today. So
Terrible.
RIP to Big Mattis.
Terrible.
Bone cancer got the best of him. He was happy. He ate 4 McDonald's cheeseburgers just with cheese. None of that extra bullshit. He also ate frozen deer leg. that I've been saving because I knew this was his final year on life. So I know that my
Good
picks
man.
are going to be fucking stellar, Stu. So I'm going to run through these really fucking quickly.
Just
But
before you do, I just want to rehash the fact last year you were literally under 40%. Continue.
All right, let's go through my picks. Lock of the fucking week. Actually, I'm going to start with my dogs. Let's start with dogs. Dog of the week, I love Vandy. You guys are fucking spot on. Vandy plus get fucking dog. Got it. Also, dog of the fucking week, Troy at Kansas State. Kansas State laying 16.5. I got it at 17.5. It's now 16.5. We fucking stick with those fucking Alabama small schools. Holy shit. Troy, listen to me. Kansas State lost under similar circumstances twice in recent years. They lost to Arkansas State, the fighting Butch Joneses. Laughable. Tulane last season. Troy, they have the second longest winning streak behind fucking UGA. Shout out to fucking JC Shelton. Go ahead, JC. They've won 12 games in a row dating back to last season when they claimed the Sun Belt Championship. I don't like Kansas State this year. I think they're fucking pussies. Whatever. Also, the Trojans defense is fucking real. They are fucking real. I love it. Don't look at the Stephen F. Austin score. Doesn't matter. Okay, those are my two dogs. Here are my picks. I'll get to the locks later. Kansas laying 3 at Illinois, Illinois at Kansas. Kansas is laying 3. They're wearing the Blackhawk jerseys. Have you seen
Dude,
them?
those look sick.
They're fucking sick. I like them at 3. I might even reverse line it up to 5.5, 6. We'll see. TBD. Also, Nebraska at Colorado. Rob's a fucking idiot. I mean, you're talking about a guy. Let's Rob, who picks against Colorado. Rob and his dad, Bombs Away Bob, they do the Scarlet Walk. Them and 15 other people.
That's right.
He's standing there pounding a Miller Lite next to Shiana.
That's right.
And then we're like, oh man, I wonder how Rob's dad beat cancer. It's because he's the most resilient motherfucker on the planet because he fucking watches Rutgers. And you're just like, holy shit. you can't fucking lose.
No, that's true. That's true. You can't be down.
If you pay money to watch the worst team in the Big Ten for your entire life, how old's your dad? 65 years.
63.
63 years. 63. If you pay money for, let's just say 45 out of 63 years to watch Rutgers just fucking break your heart.
Big dollar.
Cancer is not fucking beating you, bro. You are cancer yourself. Like you cannot lose.
Can't beat it.
So Colorado, take the 3 points. Hell, reverse line it to fucking 10. Nebraska and Jeff Sims look like fucking herpes. Notre Dame at North Carolina State. I don't know who created this game, who set this shit up, who the fuck decided it was a good idea that Notre Dame go to North Carolina State. They're laying 7.5 points. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. Take it all fucking day. Noon kickoff. Sam Hartman looks really fucking good, even with his jerk-off signals on the sideline. Looks really fucking good. Utah at Baylor. I have no words for what happened to Baylor last week. None. I got nothing.
Bobcats.
But what's that?
It was the Bobcats. That's what happened.
Whatever happened. I love Baylor, and I think Cam Rising is back. Even if he's not back, Baylor is less competent than Florida, even though Florida looks like shit. Give me Utah 7.5. I love that line. Love it. Ole Miss, Tulane. 7.5, Ole Miss. Like this is, Stu, I'm with you. I'm with you. Jackson Dart, I think he had like a top 3 QBR last week or something like that. Insane. At Iowa State. President Trump's going to be there. That means there's a letdown. I'm not betting Iowa State. And I'm not betting Iowa under 36.5.
You know who's not betting that game?
What's that?
You know who's not betting that game?
You.
Any of their players.
Yeah.
Well, are we sure about that?
Now we are. before apparently not, but now I'm fairly confident that none of the dudes on those teams are betting on this game.
It's good to know Pete Rose isn't involved in this game.
All right. So I gave you my dogs. I gave you my picks. Now it's time for the lock of the week. And I think we all know where we're going. Stu, where are we going? Ask me the question. Ask me the question, Stu, that you want to ask.
Roll Tide.
Hey, John. Big game in Tuscaloosa. Do you have any thoughts?
Hear me out, folks. Hear me out. People ask me all the time, how can Texas slow down Jalen Milroe in Alabama? How can they do that? And yes, I get it. The play calling with vanilla is Middle Tennessee State, but Middle Tennessee State's an 8-win team, and they beat some fucking teams they shouldn't have fucking beaten last year. But listen, Milroe has not shown any progression past that first fucking. Okay. Oftentimes, he was locked in on his one and only target. If you watch the first like 6 fucking passes from Milroe last week, he's just staring down the homie. Okay. There's an opportunity for Texas here to be ultra and extra aggressive. You jump that fucking route on that first fucking read because he's staring you down. Take away that first read, Texas defense is going to fucking kill it. Okay. Alabama, though, laying 7 points. I saw it as high as 8.5. Reverse line this Alabama line up to 12. You reverse line it up to 12 because Alabama is going to beat the dog shit out of Texas in Bryant-Denny. I went through all of that to tell you Jalen Milroe's for real.
So he stares down his receivers equals Alabama minus 12.
I'm just commenting.
I'm
commenting what all the commentators said. I'm regurgitating that like they didn't watch the football game because he didn't stare them down. And he went through his reads. It's kind of like
so
when
now
Stu,
it's more clear.
It's kind of like when Stu was like, hey, Bryce Young doesn't go through his progression. And
That's
Stu
what
got
you
ate
said. That's what you said.
up.
And you got me killed by Alabama's entire fan base online.
To be honest with you, I
You
only
had to
said
move.
that. So I only said that because my move here was to get the Alabama fan base mad at me, to get me on the forums.
They were mad at me. What was your play in that?
I'm saying right now,
Oh,
my
God.
Jalen Milroe comment on him not progressing. But I love Alabama. I laid them 12 points. I've got a plus 17,231 ticket with a payout of $34,666.26. And I love Alabama here. And if I win, if you're subscribed and you follow the JC Shelton Enterprise, then I'll give a random follower $2,000. So bet with me.
What?
Oh, buddy. Can we get a random
Look out.
NC Sports follower as well to get a little
Yes.
piece?
Even NC Sports, if you call in and Chris Van Dyne answers and you say this magical word, Rob and his pastrami breath, if you say that to Chris Van Dyne, I will personally Venmo you $300.
1-800-654-3448.
Yep, and it has to be Chris Van Dyne. So again, what did I say? Chris, give him the saying.
I didn't hear exactly what you have to repeat it again.
At 1-800-644
654-3448.
All right, so all right, we're gonna do it again. Rob and his pastrami breath at
1-800-654-3448. And please make sure I answer before you say that.
yes, make sure it's Chris Van Dyne.
I always say I'm the only Chris there. I do answer the phone sometimes. Just please make sure it's me before you say that.
I will Venmo you $300 during next week's show if you do. Whether I win or lose my ticket.
And I do announst my.
There's gonna be a gentleman from Georgia calling in, regardless. Chris, here's the deal. You call
Chris,
in,
send me that
you
number,
get a
bro. Text me that
$300
number, bro.
Venmo. Fuck Rob and it's pastrami breath, and it's so
If-
good.
If I
I'm gonna-
see JC's Venmo pop up, It's immediately disqualified.
I'm
Next,
gonna
next
do-
week
no,
we're
I'm
gonna do a
paying-
promo for Bobcat,
gonna
like
send- I'm gonna s-
SpaghettiOs and fucking
Hey,
Olive
Chris.
Garden.
I'm
Hey,
sending
but
50
they
bucks
have
to
to
one of my
purchase.
writers.
They have to purchase Power Sweep at least.
It would be nice if you'd purchase Power Sweep. What Bobcat wants to do with his hard-earned money is up to him. If he wants to give his money to a listener for saying "fuck Rob" and his pastrami breath, then I can't control that.
Hey, Liz,
happily let Bobcat know how to reach you and how to Venmo you. But
Chris,
I'm,
I'll even
past that.
do
You
one
should
better.
subscribe to Power Sweep.
I'll do one better.
Bobcat, no, don't go any further.
I'll do it right here.
Oh.
$300 plus I will subscribe to the Power Sweep for you. I'll pay for it.
Oh,
for you.
Jesus.
Oh, okay, all right. I was afraid it was going to go in a weird place.
No.
Shirtless
No, no, no.
pictures.
Just
or
make sure you
something.
get Chris on the phone.
You get
and do,
Bobcat, a calendar of Bobcat in all kinds of different poses.
I do have some jerk off videos in the mirror that I talked about earlier.
like, who does that? Who does that shit?
Me.
Well,
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Okay, real quick, just
I don't want that.
Chris, you got it, brother. It's in your inbox. Check the Power Sweeps email. It's there.
There is so much more to go, but unfortunately that does it for us. Coming up, like I said, later this week, me and Roberto doing our NFL picks. Yes, Bobcat will be making appearance throughout the season on that show as well. So if we haven't been canceled by then. So stay tuned to that. And also Paul Scoop on the U, I'll be on there. As you're hearing this, talking Texas A&M and Miami, that should be an electric factory right there. JC Shelton, Georgia football in the present time host, and the Paul Sports Network director of operations. What do you got going on this week?
Yeah, we got a live show. I'm actually just shot a podcast with former Georgia Bulldog, Orson Charles, former Georgia tight end. Shot a show with him today, so that'll be coming out soon. Hopefully by tonight, depending on upload speeds. But then also live show, UJ Football Live, where I got former Georgia tight end Arthur Lynch. And we're going to be a live show each Thursday this season at 8 p.m. So just follow us on socials, and we'll hit the link out there, and you just tap on it. It'll be right in. So excited for that, but that's about it.
All right, and of course, CVD one more time for NC Sports. What you got cooking this week for NC Sports and Power Sweep?
Yeah, we got Power Sweep podcast. We got a little FCS preview, like I mentioned.
I'm so fucking pumped you're doing that. I'm so fucking pumped you're doing
a little
that.
fun. Stone's a great guy. Definitely check out FCS Nation Radio on Twitter and
Good follow.
NCSports.com. And yeah, we're gonna have hopefully a good week. Power Sweep, we did okay last week. Had our 4-star in Power Sweep win. Power Sweep 4-star won once all year last year. We already matched it last week. Virginia Tech over Old Dominion, so good start.
We'll talk offline, but what you texted me last week, you were dead nuts on. And I'll tell you, it's a great tool. It's a really great tool to look at, just to get some outside opinions, see some games you weren't thinking of. So please subscribe, and definitely want to call in. Thanks to the Bobcat this week. Make sure you get Chris. That's the only cat you need.
Please sit before you say that. Make sure you get me.
Yes. Bobcat, you got one last thing to say.
It has to be with Chris Van Dine. Get confirmation from Chris Van Dine in your Venmo, and not JC Shelton.
Definitely hiring one of my writers to I'm gonna give him like $50 just to call Chris all week.
Try me with my LexisNexis subscription. Fucking
You'll never know. You'll never know.
$300. If you're in the state of Georgia, you're fucking excluded.
I have a weird feeling.
That's a really good point. You can't bet in Georgia.
I got
feeling I'm gonna get like 75 calls this week with people,
And it's going to be from Stu, Rob, and JC.
Yeah.
If you hear a
Goddamn.
guy say "fuck myself" with pastrami breath, you know it was made for the half.
All right. So
Actually, I'm
I
going to
might-
do it to get it in a Bobcat's pocket. I'm just going to keep calling around the clock.
I might make it appropriate to send me a fucking video. Send a video.
Oh,
And then-
now it's changing. Now it's
too much.
changing.
Too
Oh,
much,
my goodness.
Bobcat.
No, I'm just kidding. But Georgia, if you're in the state of Georgia, if you live in the state of Georgia, fuck you. We're not fucking accepting you.
Okay, so that's done. Roberto,
There's
it
49
was
others.
going to be an electric show. People were asking all week. It's electric show.
It's electric.
Roberto, good luck on your drafting of a 9th place out of 10 team fantasy draft.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll go great.
Happy me getting hammered in the parking lot at the link and forgetting to set my lineup. Season is upon us once again, and my wife just complaining that I just piss away, $200 at a time. But listen,
It's not shocking. It's
No.
really not shocking. Just
Yes.
like when I found out Bobcat's middle school. Not shocking. That was not shocking.
scenes.
I need the certificate, by the way. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to our guests. We'll do this again next week. Until then, take care, brush your hair, and we'll see you after a